Today we are going to look at Halloween Ends 1 year later. So as you guys know on this channel, I'm actually a fan of Halloween Ends. I actually really enjoyed the movie. Most people didn't. Over time though, I've seen it has definitely had a cult following. There are people who like the movie. There are people who absolutely despise the movie. I can see both sides. For the people who don't like the movie, I can understand why. Because the reasons that they put out there, I can agree with. But for the people who like it, and tell the reason why they like it, I can also see that side. I can see more of that side than the bad side. But today, we're just going to be talking about Halloween Ends and how it looks 1 year later. So that's going to be the video. So let's get into the deep dive for Halloween Ends. So we're going to look at some reviews right now, so you guys know what I mean when the fan base for this movie is very divided. Now the Rotten Tomatoes score is 40%. IMDb gave it a 5.0 out of a 10. So it's a 50-50. So I understand that. So what we're going to do is look at the reviews for Halloween Ends. And then I'll give you my personal review. Okay, here we go. So there are rottens and then there are fresh. So we're going to go with this one. Halloween Ends is a bummer. And everything about it makes it seem like it's willing to go. We should let it. Okay. So here's what I can think. This is what I think. I definitely think Halloween Ends is a bummer finale. If Halloween Ends was its own movie, like I could see the frustration that people have with this movie because it's a finale over 40 years. It's a big legacy, and they had some really big shoes to fill in because this is it. This is going to be the end of Michael Myers for a while. Yeah, it ended on a pretty crappy note from that standard. However, as its own movie, I think it would have been a lot better. They went the Halloween Season of the Witch route, I believe, though, and tried to make the movie different. Which, in my personal opinion, a lot of people can't give respect for, but I personally can. I can really give respect to that, because they had the balls to do something different. Halloween Ends is notably mainly for its cockamamie plot, and is a reference for the original. I have no idea what that means. Cockamamie plot. I don't even know if I'm reading that right. So, but it was Rotten Review. Okay, this is actually a fresh one. It's clear as Green brings his trilogy to a close that he's always been invested in examining the mythical import of this place. That's halfway through these sentences, but this guy understands this movie. An all-American town infected by evil cannot fathom or even face what happened to their one Halloween night. So, I completely agree. I feel like David Gordon Green, a lot of people don't understand this trilogy and its legacy. I've seen multiple critics say about this movie from just my personal experience and watching reviews that, oh, well, Gordon Green doesn't know what he's doing with the trilogy, and he didn't know how to end it. You gotta look at each in one of these movies. You gotta put yourself in Haddonfield. You gotta put yourself in their shoes. And then you kind of gotta understand the evil and the presence of evil that Michael Myers has brought to every single individual from Halloween that night. And he says the mythical import this place. I really agree. an all-American town affected by evil cannot fathom or even face what happened there one Halloween night. That's really well said. That's exactly. It's perfect. Okay, here's another rotten review. Disappointing, given the most recent films have a grounding in a very modern context. There's nothing more disappointing than a sequel that's just there to make the sake of it. And that's what this is for me. So I can understand, to an extent, with this person, that it's like a disappointing finale, and they just wanted more from it. I feel like a lot of these people these critics or somebody, who are giving these rotten reviews don't understand the point of Halloween Ends. Honestly, it's just the presence of evil. That's what David Gordon Green was wanting to do. He didn't, because Halloween H2O or Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, although they're good to an extent, here's the thing. This is what they got wrong with the movies, is they kind of made Michael Myers humanized. And they gave him a motive. Michael Myers is the presence of evil. He's not human. He has no emotion at all. And that's what people need to understand. Evil, the presence can't die. So even if Michael Myers dies himself, the evil will spread and infect everyone. And this is where Corey Cunningham comes in. And why I think it is fucking genius to bring somebody like Corey Cunningham in. One, he's relatable. Two, a lot of people didn't like that they brought and focused on a new character. Yeah, if you look at it that way. If you look at it as how it affects other people, the evil, Corey Cunningham is a perfect example of how evil Michael Myers, his mind and his setting, can affect other people. And that's why I think this was genius, to just finish off the trilogy like this. And a lot of people said, oh, we didn't get to see Jamie Lee Curtis versus Michael Myers. Yeah, you did. You did at the end. Literally, you did at the end. They gave the fan service there, but they also wanted to tell their own story. And take the route where it's going to be a little different. This is definitely more of an anthology film, and I respect it for that. So, okay. This deeply weird movie manages to close out David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy on a high note. Alright, that's a good one. Just another fresh one. The film has much to say about the effect of an angry mom that can have when they make a villain out of victims far more subliminally than 2021's Halloween Kills. Alright. So, more people who actually understand the movie. It is fun to see Curtis, this is a rotten review by the way, it is fun to see Curtis do her feisty grandmother act, flicking refrigerators about with vim and vigor, but otherwise, this end to the trilogy is quite dreadful. People just wanted to see Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers, which I 100% agree that they still should have kept that, and they did. And it's a legacy. It's a legacy that needs to happen because she was the OG of it all. And you got to remember, in this timeline, they're not related. They're not related at all. So when people I feel like have that mindset that they're still related. But if Michael Myers fights her, what's the point of it? What's the point of it? Because to what? Not take evil out of him. Like, it's not going to happen because, honestly, to Michael Myers in this timeline, it's not. Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode is nothing to him. She means absolutely nothing to Michael Myers. Anybody who will stand in his way will get fucking killed. So, I don't understand why people think that. I personally think, yeah, because Jamie Lee Curtis does deserve that time to shine from the original 1978 film. I personally think, yeah, it's a good thing that they fought. So, otherwise, I do think and do believe that Laurie Strode and Michael Myers should fight at the end because she's sick of the evil spreading around, so she has a motive. But here's the thing with Michael now. He has no motive. He's the essence of evil. And he, from his standards, he could care less what Laurie Strode thinks, does, anything. Because, I mean, it's not... It's just... He doesn't have any use for it. Or anybody, really. Now, if they were related, that's a different story. So, alright, here is some more. It's a thriller baked in history and nostalgia standing on its own 2 feet. I actually agree. And a lot of people said that it's nostalgic bait. It's not. It's not. It's really not. If you think of it that way and go in with a mind like that, yeah, you're going to think that way. But if you go in with an open mind, you're going to enjoy yourself. Okay, Rotten review here. Disappointed by this brand new trilogy. The opening scene sets up some of the great ideas, but within 40 minutes loses a lot of its lusters with a lack of tension. Semi-cool kills, great performances, but an unread idea left me frustrated with choices. That is the first Rotten review that I actually somewhat agree with. So, I can see where this person is getting disappointed. But also, what do you want with this new Halloween trilogy? How do you want it to end? Just with between Michael and Laurie Strode? If that's what everyone wants. You got that. Like, what the fuck? But the opening scene sets up some great scenes. Which, I 100% agree. The first couple minutes of this movie explores really good ideas. And then, within 40 minutes, loses a lot of... It just lacks tension. So, I'm not going to lie. It is slow-paced. But I still feel like it's slow-paced enough where it still earned that ending after 40 years. So, I personally, although I do disagree with the Rotten rating, I still disagree because I do like the movie. So, Halloween Ends will scratch the slasher itch for some. If you want gruesome kills, Halloween Ends has that. If you were hoping for a more meaningful to a 40-year plus franchise, you should probably look elsewhere. Alright, so this is an okay one. Wow, my fucking clock does not know how to shut up. Sorry, guys. So, okay. This sentence right here. If you were hoping to a 40-year, more meaningful end to a 40-year franchise, you should probably look elsewhere. That sentence specifically, I disagree with 100%. I feel like the legacy of this movie, I feel like it really sold it. And even though Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, is a different movie, I don't feel like it exceeded with that. But with Halloween Ends, it succeeded 100% on an ending. It pulled something different, and it pulled off. It literally, in the end, I don't know how they did it, but they pulled it off. They really pulled it off. and it's just a done job with Gordon Green or whatever his name is. 57 audience score and 40% on Rotten Tomato, or the tomato meter, whatever you want to call it. I completely disagree with most of the people that dislike this movie. I can understand some of the frustrations. All I gotta say. Also, in my personal opinion, this film is beautifully shot. It really captures that Halloween atmosphere. The characters. Now, those are little nitpicks I have now. Some of the characters and some of the legacies they were going to build up, like, I think her name's Lindsay Wallace. Lindsay Wallace. Her character specifically was so sidelined, and she was a huge highlight in Halloween Kills, so I can understand it there. Will Patton, his character, Deputy Frank Hawkins. I like how they explored Laurie Strode and his relationship, but he was another person I felt like was too much sidelined. And the biggest character ever, which really disappointed fans. You're not going to believe this for people who have not seen this, but Michael Myers is actually fucking sidelined in here. Now, that's where I can see people's frustration. I personally, I like the different approach it took, and how it's just kind of like an example, like I said, of the evil that Michael Myers brings to this town, Haddonfield. And I honestly dig the fuck out of it. And Michael Myers gets his time to shine at the end. And although he is weak from the last movie, he's still, oh my god. Now, another thing that a little bit frustrated me, like a little nitpick, Corey Cunningham ends up getting the upper hand on Michael Myers, stealing his mask and beating the shit out of him. I think that is the dumbest thing, because if Corey Cunningham got beat the shit by fucking band kids, and he's not able to beat their ass, but he's able to beat like a person who's fucking killed like 40 people, yeah, no, that makes no sense whatsoever. So, yeah, I do enjoy Michael Myers' screen time though, in this movie. Now, even though he doesn't have a lot, but when he's on screen, you can feel the presence of his evil. Even when he's not on screen, you can feel just his presence, because they add like sound effects like the breathing. Like Corey Cunningham's just so relatable. You can, his transition, you can feel it. You can feel the evil. And that's what does it for me about this movie. It really does that really well. It delivers, though, when Michael Myers is on screen. It delivers. 100 frickin' percent. And the score of this movie, oh my god, chills down my spine. The fucking score is phenomenal. Well done. You've actually probably at the end, when, spoiler, Michael Myers dies, the procession, I think this theme is called, David Gordon Green, whoever fucking made that, John Carpenter, you made almost a horror theme that's just as good. This is controversial as hell, but 1978's Halloween theme. I think that is just as good, and it's a great end to Michael Myers. And Halloween officially ended. So, that is my official movie review. Also, going into the deep dive of this movie, the Analyx, or whatever you want to call it. And I can't pronounce that right. You guys know what I'm saying. But, although this is a very controversial movie, I personally like it. But just listen to me. Give it a shot. Again, watch it from a different perspective. Tell me what you think of it. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.